So sorry for the technical disturbance. Today we are looking at the intraday trading using trend lines. Most of you are very familiar with trend lines, and this is the starting of a technical analysis. Right now, use certain concepts like the Dow theory, the moving average, and trend lines. So these three itself are more than sufficient to understand trend as well as the entry and exit points. We have had already discussions on trend lines, and also we have shown that how the trend line should be used. But right now we are going to use it for intraday trading, as well as we are going to show how imaginatively you can use that, and also how simple you can make an analysis. And no, even without the help of a chart, once you know the overall look of the chart, you don't need to keep on getting into the chart and do certain things. So it's just sufficient if you understand the overall, that is how it looks like, and from there you can make your plot even mentally, and then know that where exactly the supports and resistance will come for the next day, where you can do that. So now for intraday trading, most of you may be using pivot point formulas, which you are already familiar with. Some of you could be using Fibonacci. Now you can use trend line, moving average, and Fibonacci, or the intraday support resistances using the pivot point formula. This is sufficient to understand how the trend is, and where you should enter and where you should make an exit, both for intraday as well as even for position trading. So these applications we will just show in a intraday chart. Now in a trend line you need two dots, right? 2 points to connect. Any line requires 2 points. Now let us say this is one low and this is another low, which is higher lows, which itself by Dow theory confirms that you are in an uptrend. Of course you need a higher tops also. Now any upward sloping line refers to an uptrend, right? This is an uptrend. But in the chart, when you look at it, there will be uptrends within a big downtrend. So that is where the confusion comes, right? We have seen Nifty falling from 18,600 to 15,100. So that's a big downtrend. In that you have got some important pivot point highs, lows, which could be defined in a monthly chart or in a weekly chart. So you can draw definitely a downward sloping line also like this, connecting points. At the same time, you have Nifty from 15.1 to 16.3 also going with some wave in 15.7 falling, then going to 15.950, going down to 15.510, then rising to 16,030, falling to 15,865, and then now above 16,300. So you got certain waves within the big downtrend. So you must know whether this is going to be is this a bull market start from 15,200, or is it a correction within a bear market? So fundamentally, that's why we said that you should put in a fundamental picture also, take an overall call. So with the present situation, with the money being taken away from the market by Fed, any big rally is not sustainable. So to that extent, we can say that probably this is a correction in an overall bull market. So we will look at the trend lines, overall trend line in a downward side, and the trend line on the upward side also. So what we are interested is that what happens tomorrow or day after tomorrow for intraday trading, right? Or even tomorrow. So we have to identify some important supports and resistances and form an opinion that what will be the range for tomorrow, where we should go for a buy and where we should go for a sell. That is the most important thing. So we will straight away get into the chart and then use the trend line and fit it even a daily chart in a Nifty to identify the intraday supports and resistance, and what how the point of today's low, that is today's low, was identified with the help of the trend line, right? That will show in Bank Nifty as well. So let's go to the Nifty chart. So this is the Nifty chart, where we have drawn a upward line, trend line, connecting all the important lows. 15,000. This is the 15,171. Say this is the 15,500 levels, and this is the 15,850, 860 levels, right? So we have connected all these lows, and of course you know that this particular one right now, it's now coming closer to the 16,013. So very clear that you can keep the big stop loss as 16,000, big stop loss as 16,000, because we have seen that this particular sloping trend line has not been broken ever since the rally started from 15,175 or 15,200 levels. So this line has its sanctity, which is coming now closer to the 16,000, around 16,000, right? 15,989 to 16,000, approximately 16,000 is where we have. Okay, and keep 16,000 approximately as a stop loss for a big picture. So this trend line tells you that for position traders, the big stop loss now is coming closer to the 16,000 levels. Now, for the same position trader, where are the resistance going to come? And then after that, we will come to the intraday trading. Now let's look at the this is the chart. So what you normally have to do is, once you have a trend line like this, you have to fit a parallel line and anchor it at some other important pivots. Now we see that this is connecting these important pivots. Pivot, it's an important top and bottom points, and there are some other pivot points also. For example, this is the pivot day. This is the pivot day, that is 16,020 levels. Then you got one pivot level, which is the 15,925, 925. Then you got another pivot, which is 15,885. Then you got a pivot low here. So these are the places where you have some pivot lows and pivot tops. So what we need to do is that we need to take this particular trend line and see where exactly we should place it to know to what extent the rally can take place. There is nothing like, no, it should not happen beyond that. But these are estimated levels where there can be some resistances and supports. Now, and once, we have seen always that if one support is broken, that becomes itself a resistance. If a resistance is broken, it becomes a support. So that is the same concept even in trend line. Now this trend line, let's anchor it to the exact tops, right? So the recent tops, the two important tops have been now connected, and the trend line, the parallel line exactly fits with it. So a big rally can take it so now it can go today itself it is coming closer to the 16,525. So closer to the 16,540, 550 levels, we may have a bigger resistance. So I think it will stop somewhere there, and then for a bigger, slightly bigger fall. But whether it will go to that extent, before that, it has to now, let's put it down to the next height, next top. This is the next top. See, this is the anchor. We have anchored it to the next top. Right? So tomorrow, if it rallies, by chance the rally continues, then this line, trend line now becomes a resistance area. 16,430, 440 levels can become tomorrow's resistance. So when we talk about intraday, now tomorrow, today it finished at 16,340, right? So if it goes up, there is a chance that 16,430, 440, if it continues to rally tomorrow, 16,440 can be a very important resistance. So let us say it opens gap up tomorrow. Then 16,440, we need to be careful and ensure that we come out of the position at around 16,440 and then see whether there is some fall. If it is only going to break above 16,440, 445, chances that it can rally 16,520, 530 levels also, 520 to 530 levels also it can rally. So that is an unrealistic thing for tomorrow. So 16,440 we will keep. Now today what happened is the same place. Now so now we are bringing it and putting it to yesterday's low. Say yesterday's low. See, yesterday's low was 16,142. Now today the same. Now this trend line. Today the low rests on this trend line, right? So now we have one top here somewhere 2-3 days back. Then there is another pivot low here. See, we are pivoted to the pivot low. So this is a very important support right now. So this is the pivot low and this is the pivot high. Okay, and in this particular low it is getting support. And today it was 16,140. Day before yesterday was 16,140. Yesterday was 16,142. Today it is 16,187. Approximately a 40-point move. So that means 16,187 plus another 40 points to add. 16,227 it becomes. So tomorrow's big support can come closer to 16,227 or 16,225 approximately, we'll write it. And big resistance 16,440. So this could be the expected range for tomorrow. But whether it will come to 16,225 or whether it will stop exactly 16,440, we're not sure. But we will keep this as a big estimate first of all. That is, below 16,225, I think it's going to turn for a bigger correction. It's going to turn for a bigger correction. Below above 16,440, the rally can extend itself to 16,530 or 540 levels. 530 or 540 levels as possible. So we should know that this particular concept will be very, very helpful to pinpoint where the resistance support levels are likely to emerge. And another point that normally we see is that, let's look at the chart back. See what happened when we put it here, right? So this is the place. Now from the trend line, if you see, this is the highest place where the support came, resistance came. This is 16,275, and exactly the trend line below that exact point at this trend line was 15,720. 15,720, which means approximately a 520, 530 points is here in this case, right? Now, if you look at the same place here, it is 15,927, 15,352. This is 15,927, 15,400 we can say. So approximately 15,400 means this is 15,927, 525, 527 points. It was 527 points from this. Now in this case it was 16,275, 15,744. Same 520, 530 points, right? Approximately that 500 points, 520, 530 points. Now today, if you look at this trend line, now today's trend line is 15,984. So tomorrow's trend line is approximately coming to 15,994 or so. So you get a 16,000 approximately plus 500 becomes 16,500. So at some stage or there in this particular thing, if you can keep the same distance, there is a rally which is possible, but not necessarily that should happen. That's what I'm saying. At some stage when there is an extension of that rally, then the exhaustion sets in. The exhaustion sets in when there is the same distance is covered from the trend line. But that is a little complicated. The easiest thing is to know is you have drawn a trend line connecting important lows. And the same thing is also anchored to the important tops. So then with that help, find out the resistance support areas. The resistance clearly comes tomorrow if we keep this at this high, it comes at 16,430 or 440 levels. And if we do that at this place, it is coming at 16,225. But can we get any other point which can give a better support resistance level? See tomorrow, say this place. Now see when you can see what we have done is we have anchored it to this particular small low. This is because there is one bottom here low, this is another low, this is another top. So based on this, there is the from this low, if you look at it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days. and this trend line has a slope of 38 points. Every day it moves by 38 points. So 38 into 7 is 266, and 266 we keep it to this 16,115 plus 266, that comes to 16,381. So tomorrow, if it goes to 440 levels, it breaks and goes to 440 or 445 levels, the first support can emerge closer to 16,380 itself. It can emerge at 16,380 itself. Then after that, probably we can look at this high, because we have now looked at this particular high, right? So this is the place. So we look at, keep this particular high. So tomorrow, there is a chance that we may get a support which is 16,320. This is 16,320. So the first thing that we are looking at it is 16,440. If it goes up, 16,320 can be a support. If there is a bigger fall, that the first support resistance will come at 16,380 levels. Break of this could take it down up to 16,320. 16,300. A very, very big fall could take it up to 16,225. Now, if we fit this with the Fibonacci ratios also, so let us say it goes to 16,440 tomorrow, and already we have seen. See, there was a let us say there was a fall which is from 16,275 to 15,860 or so, right? So this is 415 points. So 415 into 0.235, how much it comes to? Into 0.235, this comes to 97 or 100 points. So 16,275, if you put it, plus approximately 100, it comes to 16,373 to 375. This is one resistance which has not been broken but likely to be broken. So this is one resistance. Then the next resistance will come, if you look at the point, it is 415 into 0.386, right? 415 into 0.386, and that will come at 415 into 0.386. That is 160 points, 16,275 plus 160. That is 16,435. So tomorrow, when we are talking from the trend line concept also, 16,440 is what we are indicated as a good resistance area. From the Fibonacci, one of the important Fibonacci projections also takes us closer to the 16,435. 16,435. So suppose if it has gone up to 16,435, then in that case we can put 16,275 as one important resistance area. That's one. And right now we talked about 415 into 0.235, 80-90 points, which makes it also the same 16,370 or 380 levels. 370 or 380. So 435 will be the first resistance if it just starts to rally. On any fall, there could be a support closer to the first support could come closer to the 16,370 to 16,435. But a bigger fall could take it back to 16,325 or so. And and also if it is 16,430, it would have rallied by around 600 points from the bottom, right? 580 points, because 15,850 to 16,440. It is almost 600 points, right? 600 points, so 590 or 600 into 0.235 also, which is 140 points or so, right? So 600 into 0.235, it's 140 points. So 1 minus 140, it could be 16,300, right? So, but we expect the resistance, this one, to come closer to the 16,325 itself. So that's what we are looking at, 16,325 as one place of support. 16,440 is another place of resistance. A deeper fall, 16,300 to 16,275. So this has been analyzed from the point of view of the Fibonacci the normal pivot points and the trend lines. Trend lines we have shown that it can go right up to 16,440, and the same trend line, when we project it to the downward side, it has come down to 16,325, and then further fall probably the worst could be 16,225 is what we have seen. So somewhere around the 16,325, I think we should expect some sort of a support. If it goes up to 16,440 levels or so, we should expect some fall to take support closer to the 16,325 levels, and then to come closer to the 16,275, which is the pivot point which has been broken right now. Then after that it may come down to 16,225 or so. So I don't think so we are going to expect anything below 16,225 intraday tomorrow. Okay, one. So to that extent, when it opens up tomorrow, let us say we must keep ourselves, how to keep ourselves prepared. Let us say today the close is quite strong, and tomorrow it just straight away opens 16,000 gap up, but just above 16,380, just gap up above 16,380. Then definitely you can go buy immediately for a profit target of 16,440, and keep a stop loss, because it is a gap up. Keep a stop loss below today's close, that is this place. Keep this is the 16,340. So if it, let's say it opens up a gap and above 16,380, buy, keep stop loss 16,340, and the profit target is 16,440. But straight away it goes to 16,440, then you need to be a little bit careful, because the rally cannot keep on going up. So I wouldn't say that you should short, but if you have already got existing long position, you may please close that position and then wait for a dip again and then buy. And that dip could probably, as I told you, this is one place where probably tomorrow it could come and we could take support at 16,325. So 16,325 could be support. So we have used this trend line to identify support resistances using just a daily chart. Now the same trend line, you can just see how we can use it the same in an hourly chart and 15 minutes chart. See, look, today the last minute we have taken basically the support has come at 16,323. Okay, now it is slowly going up tomorrow at these levels. Now let's look at this chart. Tomorrow, let's say it goes up straight. It cuts even this high. Okay, then it goes up. Then closer to this place, that is closer to this highs, 16,381. It's coming. So the moment it crosses 16,383, 384, and opens with a gap up, it has a chance to go straight away to 16,430, 440 levels. 430 to 440 levels. So this itself can become a support. So then after that, probably you can have supports coming at these places, at these. So this was an high. So we have, then you will have supports coming closer to the next few hours. You will have support closer to 16,373.80 itself. So if it starts to go below 16,373.80, then in that case we can just put it like this. This is the hourly thing which happened yesterday, today. So we may get support above 16,280.85. I told you. So that will be that will also be keep moving up a little bit. So we should get supports very closer above 16,270. I don't think 16,225 is going to come. Maybe it will be 16,275 to 85 will come, but with the first strong support coming closer to the 16,322 levels. 16,322 levels can be a very important support based on what we see right now. So we can keep 16,322, 323 as the first important place, and then we can keep a stop loss which is below 16,275 to 80 levels, because right now on an hourly chart, if you see, this is coming closer to the 16,279, and as a few hours progress it may come closer to 16,280, 90 levels. So you can keep something like 16,280, 85 as a stop loss for a buy which is above 16,000 open with a gap. First stop loss comes at 16,340. target comes to 16,430, 440 levels. Support will emerge at 16,323, 23 approximately, because that's the place that gap is also there. So 16,325 to 340 itself is an important place, below which probably we could have some, because it will be a gap up, right? So whenever there is a gap, and then if the gap gets closed, then we will get into a problem. So we should keep that particular gap as an important place where we should put in our stop loss. So 16,330, 340 itself should be a place where we should be going for our stop loss. And at 16,440, 450, you may look for an intraday sell. You can look for an intraday sell. So, but it will also depend on how strong the international markets are. Now, the international market right now is looking very strong. S&P is closer to the top end of the range for the day, 1.25% up. So which means tomorrow we can expect some sort of a gap up opening here in India also, which means we could be talking something like 16,430, 440 itself in the open. So that is the situation as far as the Nifty is concerned. We will look at Bank Nifty also. So here we have done the same same trend line of the daily chart. We have anchored to the hourly chart and making our projections right now in this, based on this. So based on this, we are looking at some sort of a support above 16,280, 290 tomorrow, if 16,340 itself is again broken. So this is as far as Nifty is concerned. But the most important point right now that probably we should think is, see, any fall right now in Nifty is around 400 points, 16,275 to 15,850. So approximately a 400 points correction only is there. So now already Nifty, suppose if it goes to 16,430, 440, then that means 16,030, 40 or 16,000 itself will become a very important support. So what we should do is that we should look only towards closing of positions only below 16,000 in a long position. So in between, whatever dips that you get will be a buy. So if it forms from 16,440, then it comes to 15,000, 16,275, then 16,030 or 16,040. That should be the last place where you should keep that as a stop loss. 16,025, 16,030 as a place where we should keep ourselves as a for the stop loss, as for stop loss situation. So based on this, we will continue to remain on the bullish side. But if you look at the big chart, so big picture, right now, let us say even in a weekly chart, we have seen normally the weekly range is something like 400-500 points. 400 to 500 points is the normal weekly range. If that be the case, then probably we should be seeing something like for 16,142. If this low is maintained for the week, then we should be easily seeing 16,530, 540 levels this week. 16,530, 540 can also be seen this particular week. So let us be prepared for that. But the weekly chart still is on the downside because it is only forming lower top, lower bottoms. So at any time, if a weekly low is cut, then we should be in a position to get out of the Nifty long position. And this week till now only 2 days have happened, 16,142. So the next few days, if it maintains itself above that 16,142, then 16,000 a fall below 16,142 itself can at some stage can become a place where the long position should be exited. So right now 16,142 having been the low, we can expect something like as if that is the low, then we can expect something like 16,540, 542 also. So let's because every week we have seen almost 400 to 500 points. Last week, despite being a slightly smaller week, it is 16,248 to 15,858, which is almost approximately that 400 points. And here also, if you see, this is also a 400 point, 927 to 450, 460 points. And this week has been a slightly even more, 15,200 to 15,750, 550 points. Some weeks are generally more, but on a normal situation, it is around 400 to 450 points. Here it is again 16,200 to 16,600 is the same 400, 420, 430 points. So that makes us know that on the lower side of the volatility itself, if it is going to be this, then probably we should be expecting something more out of this. So that means this is if this is the low of 15,858, then another 600, 700 points from there is also a possibility, which means 16,500 levels is a possibility this week. 15,520, 530 looks to be a very possible scenario if no further damage is done in the weekly chart. But despite that, if you the overall trend in Nifty is this. See, this is the sloping line, right? So this particular line, no, if we anchor it, okay. This week, it takes it to 16,652 this week, but may not, if it doesn't go there, then next week 16,600. So somewhere between 16,550 to 600, it can rally and then also fall. So the trend line clearly shows that probably we should be prepared for another 200 points up move. Another 200 points up move in Nifty is possible. And what will change is there should be a reversal below a week low, and that week low right now at 16,142, but right now the previous week low is 15,858. This week is not completed, so at this moment we are still keeping 15,858, and that will shift and change closer to 16,142 as we advance towards the 16,500, 542 levels, because normally the 400 points is what we are speaking as an important point of correction possibility. So we will put it at 16,530, 540 to 600, and 16,100 to 200 should be then for cut before we again start the next move on the downside. So the overall trend is still down because it is still trading below the 200-day moving average, and it is also still, if you look at the monthly chart, it is still 3 months low has not been broken at any point of time. So if this is the thing, and it has to minimum cut 17,100, 130 levels for us to look towards resumption of the uptrend in any big manner. So I think at this point of time we are still far off from that particular level. Okay, we will look at the Bank Nifty right now. Bank Nifty overall also it is below a 3-month low, which means that probably it has to, next month at least, it has to start going above 36,400 levels, 36,310. This is July month. So next month, if in August, suppose if it continuously cuts the 36,300 or whatever high that comes this month, probably should be very carefully monitored for a change in trend as far as Bank Nifty is concerned to be on the higher side. Okay. So now at this point of time, there also the trend line is still on the downside. So next month it may just go to the 36,240 to 230, 240 levels, which is going to be a very important high. So 36,240, 250 levels, if it rallies, it could be a very, very important high next month. Probably this month we have got next week or so, it is already 35,720. Chances that it can rally, if the rally continues this month, it can go up to 37,000. 37,000. Now, if 37,000 will be the can be a possibility of a move up to 37,000 is possible, and only if it starts cutting about 37,000 again next month, then probably we will be looking towards a very big bullish scenario again emerging in Bank Nifty. Now let's look at it from the intraday or weekly perspective, then intraday perspective. So it's the same situation right now. Bank Nifty is looking much better. I told you last week also, Bank Nifty is looking much better. See, this is a trend line, and this trend line which is anchored here, and that has been cut. that has been cut. So which makes it at least more bullish than Nifty, because Nifty has not cut, but Bank Nifty is doing much better, and this has to cut this particular high before we start realizing an upward movement, and by next week or so it has to literally clear 36,600 to 700 levels. May have some resistance very closer to that, and then if we have a push beyond that after some time, then we should see a bigger uptrend unfolding as far as Bank Nifty is concerned. Now we will look at the bigger picture, Bank Nifty this one, and see we can use a trend line from the pandemic line also, and see this is the trend line, upward trend line still. So let's look at this trend line point of view. So last week, if you see, we have anchored that particular trend line to the top of this this one, that is the high. Then last week it came very closer to that and took support. So this week, if it falls, then it should be above this particular as last week low. It should be above this last week low, but it is now still on the upside. So we will use the same trend line for a daily chart, and let's see what happens. See, daily chart very clear now. This particular place, it is getting support, right? So this is where we got support a couple of days back. So now you can put it to any of the other important lows and take the chart. So right now, today, if you look at it, on this particular place, it took support. Now we have put the trend line on one of the day's highs, and today it took support here. So tomorrow we can move it probably to this place. So the first support can come tomorrow at 35,420. So today the low was 35,110. So tomorrow the first support can come closer to 35,410. So Bank Nifty support based on trend line is 35,420 tomorrow. Okay, and resistance will be so today it took resistance here. So tomorrow it is definitely likely to rally further. So we will have some resistance probably coming closer to this place. $35,985. So we may have a resistance. So this is the expected range tomorrow. So if it falls to 35,410, 420, you can be a buyer. And resistance could be 35,985, where you can look towards seeing whether some sell position can be taken, or probably you can liquidate your long position, wait for a fall towards 35,420 before you go for a long. And the weekly low has to be cut again for Bank Nifty also to turn bearish, and this week low has to be monitored to see whether that is going to be cut or not. So we can go with that particular strategy in mind, and look towards taking our trades based on the trend lines as well as based on Fibonacci and then pivot points. Pivot points, you can either use a normal high-low pivot points or a pivot point formula. So the three things that we will be combining to use will be the pivot point, either pivot point high-low or the pivot point intraday low supports. You can look at the trend line. Okay, you can look at moving average if you want. So based on this combination, our intraday positions will be estimated, and whenever it falls to that particular level, we should be in a position to grab it. Now, with the help of the trend line only, we have identified that tomorrow, if at all Nifty rallies continuously, 16,445 is likely to be a resistance area. First support can come at 16,380, then 16,325. Okay, then it may come to 16,290 or so. So this is what we are expecting it to happen. Okay, this is what we are expecting it to happen, right? So pivot point, trend line, moving average. Using this, you can make your projections. And same thing which we have talked about Bank Nifty, 35,960, 970, 35,420, 430, approximately that particular area should be the support as far as Bank Nifty is concerned. And considering that the Nifty moves by minimum 450 points in a week, if 16,142 is the low of this week, then in that case we should be looking somewhere very, very closer to 16,500 plus. So even it may go up to 16,600 levels. So where we expect a strong resistance to come as far as Nifty is concerned. Bank Nifty, if it starts clearing this month itself, there's a chance it can go up to 37,000. But it can get pushed lower from 37,000. And after that, next month, if it starts to clear from 37,000, then any dip becomes a dip to buy as far as Bank Nifty is concerned. Okay. So this is what it is today. The same thing you have to just look towards application in any of the other stocks. Maybe one stock in the bank we will look at it, which is a good tradable stock, which is ICICI. So this stock, you can look at the big picture if you want. Monthly chart, and the same thing you can use it in a daily chart, right? So this okay, so this is basically you can this trend line seems to be the present trend line, which is holding. And we can use this for a daily chart. Let's say how does it look like in a daily chart? Okay, so if it doesn't fit, then don't try to fit in. So I think probably it doesn't fit in much. So what we'll do is, as far as ICICI is concerned, where is the stop loss? First of all, what you have to do is, already it has rallied to this place. So what is the difference between this place and this place? Height. This is 782 and this is 771, 11 rupees. So straight away that 11 rupees should come here, 744. So the big stop loss comes for us at 755. Big stop loss for us comes at 755. Now after that, what we should do is that let's say we connect these two highs. Okay, that is too high, right? So now we anchor it to the next high. So that has been also penetrated. So now probably we are looking at some high which is closer to this. So going up to 791 tomorrow is a possibility. Going up to 791, 792. 791 to 792 is possible. ICICI, if it rallies to that place, then probably it becomes a sell place. Now before that, let's look at another. This is another high. So today at this high, it was getting resisted. So this is this place now. It is moving at range of 1, 2, 3, 4. So the difference is 764 to 782, which is 28 divided by 4, 7 rupees. So tomorrow the first resistance can come closer to 789, 790 as far as ICICI is concerned. But if it starts to rally beyond that, then in that case we may have to see some other place, which is this particular high. Right, so it can come 790, 791, 92. I think approximately 791, 92 can be a resistance tomorrow. So ICICI has a potential to rally up to 790, 791 tomorrow. And same thing if we put it to today's low. I think we should use today's this place and probably a little one more high beyond this, because it was yesterday's. So tomorrow it can come, the first support can come 774. So ICICI based on the trend line looks to be a 774, 791, 792 range tomorrow. So if it goes to 791, 92, don't go and buy there. I think probably you have to wait for a fall and get it below 774 and then put in a stop loss below this particular low itself, which is the 767. Don't need to do even that. I think probably this particular trend line will tell you. Now we can keep it here below this low, and let's see, this comes to 772. So 772 can be a stop loss. So tomorrow any this one you can buy ICICI with 772 as a stop loss, going right up to 791, 792. So this is how you use the trend line also to make an analysis of the expected range for the next day, along with the ATRs. ATRs can also be used to estimate the likely range. Okay, and trend line also can be used. So thank you very much, and now look forward for your questions then. So thanks for your participation.